County Jail. My records is case. How can I help you?
Hi, I got a quick question about law enforcement, ma'am.
I'm not sure if I can answer the question, but I can try.
Well, there are so many laws and codes and statutes and acts and ordinances. How do you guys learn them all?
I'm not a deputy, so I don't go through the academy and everything, so I'm not sure their process and anything like that. Would you like to speak to a deputy and see if they're able to answer some of your questions?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let me transfer you over there. 1 second.
It's a legitimate question. I mean, there's years of reading there. Deputy child trafficker, reporting for duty. Jesus doesn't support child trafficking, even if you wearing a fancy little badge.
Dispatch, can you hold for a moment?
You betcha.
Thank you.
No, but society gives most of these fools a pass, so, well, they do good most of the time. Okay, whatever. I kind of disagree with that too, but if you kidnap a child, you're finished. I mean, how do you come back from that unless, heaven forbid, the child dies and you were a part of that? That's a big deal. God does not support child trafficking, just the opposite. We're going to share a little scripture with these child traffickers, and probably half of them claim to be Christian, but most Christians don't read their own books, which is the law they will be judged by. So, this might not have been a good idea. I wonder if they know who I am. It's hard to get a public servant on the line when you need him. When it comes time to write the check, they find you. Aren't we supposed to have government by the consent of the governed? So if I don't consent, why do I have to pay? Why do I have to fund public schools that just abuse children even more? Kind of seeing a trend in that, aren't we? Why do I have to fund public schools that just turn their brains and their souls into mush? They grow up into being mask-wearing Republican and Democrat zombies.
Dispatch, this is Paul. How can I help?
Yes, sir. I got a question about law enforcement. There's so much to learn. So many acts, policies, statutes, codes.
Hey, how can I help you, sir?
How do you learn all that stuff?
They go to training.
Okay.
They're Dr. John training.
Are you guys always up to par on the training?
That's not something I can answer, sir. I don't know the training status of every officer out there. We dispatch for 7 different agencies. I'm sorry.
Right, but okay. Well, people can draw their own conclusion. I'm calling about this kidnapped baby Cyrus child. I'm reading about it online.
Okay.
What's
Yeah,
that?
so if you want to talk to somebody about that,
No, I want to talk to you because you clearly don't know anything about the Adoption and Safe Families Act. The next of kin. Listen.
Dispatcher, and I was the agency that did that.
So are you the equivalent?
The agency that did that was Meridian Police.
Well, but you work for the sheriff's department. You work for the jail. You're all part of the Blue Line frat brothers, right?
Sheriff's Department, right. So if you'd like to complain about this, sir, it goes through the Meridian website.
Nah, I'm calling you because you guys are the sheriff's department. The sheriff is the big dog.
An emergency
Oh, this is an emergency. Please, you need to we need heroes to come to the rescue of this child because you let the CPS kidnap a perfectly healthy boy. You didn't even follow. You listen to me. You didn't follow.
To handle your complaint is to go to the Meridian Police website.
Oh, what's the website going to do? I want you to be a man and come to the aid of a little baby. I want you to be a man. Why don't you quit being a coward and show up to honor your oath? How about it? He'll probably do anything for $1. Here's the deal. CPS, run by pedophiles. We've run into that time and time again. Jeffrey Epstein didn't hang himself. Pedophiles, they're all over the place. Now, the Adoption and Safe Families Act back in the 90s set the ground rules for CPS. If there is a child, even if there is a child in danger that has some issues, the next of kin gets first opportunity to take the child into their home. That means if the filthy scumbags working for Satan at CPS take your child by their own bylaws, it's right there in the Adoption and Safe Families Act, by their own bylaws, they have to turn the child over to the next of kin if the next of kin wants it. That means an uncle, an aunt, a grandpa, whatever. Savvy? These people and these filthy policemen traffic children because they don't know the laws they pretend to enforce. They're garbage. They just do what their filthy, stinking, Luciferian attorney tells them to do for a rotten, filthy Federal Reserve note. They're wicked. They're evil. And God's watching them. It'd be nice if Idaho was watching them, but Idaho's a bunch of bootlicking slave cop kissers as well. So watch out for your children. The police will take them.